Some other buildings that have this same rock are the Alt Park, and the Alt Park Pavilion, the big building atop of that hill, has all types of crinoid stems, Mississippian age, in that rock. Now, I'm not 100% certain of it, but that would be my guess. Also, at the Cincinnati Natural History Museum, they have a lot there too, in the front of their fountain. Continental drift continues. Lines represent equator tropics and polar ice. 359, 358, 356. Coming up to 344 million years ago, a broad upwarping of the Earth's crust occurs, covering most of what becomes Ohio and Kentucky, called the Cincinnati Arch. These thin layers of sediment erode, eventually exposing the Ordovician stratum. The northwest, North Vernon in the west, Covington, the Ohio River, Peoples in the east, Ordovician stratum, pre-Ordovician is at the very bottom. Diagrammatic cross-section of the Cincinnati Arch. Cincinnati Arch is what brings all these ancient layers to the surface, and the younger rocks were eroded by the glaciers. It's really neat to have a timeline like this where you can actually see the huge quantity of time, and this is blocks long. So this is really cool that this geologic timeline is out in the open for everybody to see. You don't see too many things like this in many cities. The only thing I really regret is look how horrible it is. You can't even read it. So somebody didn't think of contrasting colors when this was made, because the message is almost lost and people go by oblivious to what's right here. This is the Pennsylvanian period. I'm at 320 million years ago. Shallow seas drowned the tropical forest. I'm going to skip this one because it's far too difficult to read. The map they have. What? 312 million years ago. The first flying insects alight on the first trees while the rest lead wide wingspans. Here we are at Cordatails form, first forest rising to 100 feet. Okay, coming up through the Permian period, 286 million years ago. Great global shifts push up the mountain ranges that are ancestral to the Appalachians, Rockies, Alps, and the Urals. Distinct climate zones develop. Generally, more seasonal cool and dry, vast salt fields are deposited as oceans recede. Scale trees and giant horsetails give way to primitive spruces and pines. Reptiles evolve from amphibians and dominate on land. Many groups of marine animals, including trilobites, become extinct. Rich fossil deposits are formed in the red parts of Texas, South Africa, and near Perm in the USSR. This is the worst extinction event in Earth's history, the Permian die-off. Almost more than 95% of all species just die, completely wiped off the earth, and 99% of all individuals die. Not species, but individuals. The continents joined to form the supercontinent called Pangaea. 281 million years ago, one of the major new insect groups, beetles, are arthropods, or jointed-leg animals with outer skeletons. 276 million years ago, many mammal-like reptiles appear. Moschops move slowly but more easily than early reptiles as its legs are beneath its body. $267 million years ago, seed-bearing plants give rise to conifers. Several hundred million years later, their descendants will dominate 1/3 of the world's forests. $257 million years ago, a 23-foot tree fern, Passornius, reproduces by dispersing spores shed from undersides of its fronds. $245 million years ago, Triassic period. The vast supercontinent Pangaea brings to break up and return to its northern and southern parts, Laurasia and Gondwana. $240 million years ago, with mammal-like teeth, the early reptiles can't read that. Lycerus chews only plants. It lives by lakes and rivers and grows to 3 feet. Okay, 227 million years ago, the first mammals are 6-inch shrew-like animals. They're fireworks down at the Coliseum. $214 million years ago, pterosaurs zoom off cliffs to catch fish. Their wings, covered by skin, span 26 feet. Coming up to the Jurassic period, 208 million years ago, on land and sea, numerous new forms of life emerge. Birds take flight, probably sprouting feathers and beaks. Ammonites, coiled mollusks, flourish in the sea. Large reptiles return to the sea. Spectacular dinosaurs dominate in North America, Europe, and Central Asia, roaming through forest and pine. Cyclids are wading in marshes and swamps. The period is named after the Jura Mountains in France and Switzerland. Most of the dinosaur fossils of this period will be discovered in Utah, Wyoming, and Colorado ages hence. The supercontinent Pangaea breaks up. North America separates from Europe, opening the North Atlantic Ocean. $196 million years ago, Apatosaurus, deep. 188 million years ago, along with the ferns, tree ferns, and cycads. Can't quite read this out. Bennett trilithines flourish by riverbanks. $180 million years ago, crow-sized Archaeopteryx, the earliest known bird with its 2 wings, 2 feet and feathers, claws on its wings. I'm garbling that. Again, the words are very hard to read. And again, 173 million years ago. I have to get really low at the right angle to be able to read and show these images. This is Stegosaurus. Something about Stegosaurus on this one. So each one of these steps is about 3 feet. Every 3 foot interval. Okay, Keegan is modeling the fact that each block is about 3 feet in length. Here we go, 144 million years ago, the Cretaceous period. $109 million years ago, they got a turtle, and I can't even, boy, that's hard to read. Too hard to read, I can't even tell. $98 million years ago, the 7-ton, 18-foot tall dinosaur Tyrannosaurus attacks other dinosaurs with its fierce array of 6-inch teeth. Why the heck did it say 18 feet? Okay, 18 feet tall.